CNN is learning that the influential conservative Matt Drudge is souring on the president.
The Drudge Report, as people know, aggregates different articles. And you can tell Matt Drudge's position by those he chooses to highlight and those he chooses to use as headlines. And so here is Oliver Darcy of CNN's latest reporting. Matt Drudge is reacting to changing circumstances. A person close to the media mogul who said Drudge has grown exasperated with Trump told CNN Business. Not only is Drudge's website aggressively covering the impeachment news, it is doing so by featuring commentary from some of the president's fiercest critics or the harshest criticism of him. That's significant, Michael.
It is significant because the holy trinity of a firewall for the president is Drudge, Fox News, and AM talk radio. And there are cracks in two of the three, one being Drudge, the other being Fox News. As you correctly point out, he aggregates. He doesn't provide original content, but through the selections that he makes, Allison, you get a perspective, you get a point of view. And don't lose sight of the fact that the Drudge Report came on the scene the last time the country went through this. In the midst of the 1990s, Matt Drudge broke a lot of stories. I remember the Lisa Myers NBC story in particular about the Clinton impeachment. So he holds great sway. He puts out, through those links that he aggregates, a message of what's going on in the world, in the country, on any particular day. And the president is no doubt upset with the fact that Drudge has not been a strong ally in his selection of stories recently.
Is Drudge beginning to turn on President Trump? Many people keep asking me about this. I get texts. Did you notice this? What's up with Drudge? So we started to look into it. In August, the traditional leaning Drudge Report began posting several anti-Trump stories, all kind of stacked together.
The Drudge Report has been reported by Alexa Internet, Amazon's web traffic analytic company, as dropping markedly since October 2019 from a ranking of 610 in global internet engagement to 772 and rapidly declining in November 2019. All of this has a lot of people asking, what's going on with Drudge? If you talk to conservatives these days who have been following Drudge recently, you hear the site has gone anti-Trump, orange man bad.
Then on Saturday, Citizen Free Press, another conservative news aggregator, announced on Twitter that they are the new Drudge Report. Rasmussen responded with a bombshell worthy of a great big Drudge siren. Quote, "We don't think Matt is there anymore, CFP. Word is he sold, just waiting for confirmation. Now that will be a story." End quote. But it did not stop there. Rasmussen kept firing away shots at Drudge that kept coming throughout the weekend. This being said, Rasmussen would occasionally praise Drudge for going the extra mile to promote polls that surveyed likely voters to please. "We miss you, Matt." The whole Rasmussen feed reads like a jilted lover weeping over unrequited love, or weeping over lost Drudge links and the page views they bring. The truth is, Drudge has gone rogue, and not in the Sarah Palin diss the GOP establishment maverick kind of way. The fact that Matt Drudge is only using liberal sites for his news links is very disconcerting to the conservative community. With the president having over 90% approval with Republicans, one can see why this is a serious issue.
Drudge was, at least at one time, the king of the new media, the online aggregate media, and that told a very different narrative, a very different story from the mainstream media, one that noticed a mass populist nationalist rebellion going on all over the world against the elitist, aristocratic, globalist world order. Now Drudge seems to come from he comes from a far more libertarian or maybe even anarchistic wing of thought as part of that rebellion that's he spearheaded in 2016. And his monthly views hit upwards of like 90 million a month, over 1 billion annually. But then something seemed to happen to Drudge. Rush Limbaugh's noticed it. A number of commentators have noticed it. The Gateway Pundit writes about it. He began to turn on Trump. And it really surfaced during the whole Robert Mueller Russian investigation fiasco. Each and every day, Drudge featured headlines of Trump's impending doom. And when you clicked on the link, you were taken to stories from the New York Times and CNN and the Washington Post and MSNBC, and all of a sudden you realized, holy crap, Drudge was actually pushing a far left spin or angle on the news, which of course was thoroughly anti-Trump. Now, I need not say, but this has been very, very disappointing to say the least. The loss of Drudge is a significant loss, no question, and we really don't know what turned him.
Matt Drudge obviously has sold out to the globalists and the establishment, and he's not even trying to hide it anymore. In May of 2019, the Drudge Report stopped displaying ads temporarily for about 20 to 22 days. Most people didn't even notice. Some did, but most people didn't even notice. But the ones that noticed are obviously the people in the advertising and marketing industries. And they were wondering what was going on. Well, all of a sudden, the ads came back. But here's what happened. Matt Drudge dropped his advertising team that he was with for close to 20 years. He had an excellent working relationship with the company, and out of the blue, he dropped them. Now, Matt Drudge is pretty secretive. He doesn't say what he's doing. He doesn't give that many interviews. He's kind of a recluse, to be quite honest. And there's not a lot of info out there on him personally. But for him to just completely drop his advertising people that by all estimations bring in $30 million a year is pretty strange. But here's what's even stranger. Who did he go with? He went with a company called Granite Cubed. Now, this new company has little to no experience. They have no record of any ads and digital ads in the industry. They list absolutely no staff on their website. But yet, somehow, they just landed the largest advertising website in the entire world. Now, why would Matt Drudge go with this company? Obviously, it's got to be for one main reason, right? For the money. So, according to Pathmatics, a marketing and advertising platform, it is estimated that the Drudge Report generates at least $30 million per year in ad revenue. Granite Cubed isn't listed, as I said, for the owners on the website. But through doing some extra digging, their corporate records show that they are owned by a Margaret Otto, O-T-T-O. Now, Margaret Otto and her husband Adrian have very close ties to not only Matt Drudge, but more importantly, Bob Drudge, Matt's father. The relationship goes back well over 20 years. The couple also acquired another company founded by Bob Drudge, again Matt's father, in 2017 called RefDesk. The Ottos have known the Drudges at least since 1999, which is kind of in the beginning of when he got started. So here's where things get even more interesting. Adrian Otto, the husband to Margaret, is the technical director of, drumroll please, where's Jacob when you need him? Google Cloud. As a matter of fact, he joined Google in 2017. So now we know what's going on. Matt Drudge is now in bed with Google and the Alphabet Incorporation. And we all know that YouTube and the Alphabet Corporation and Google absolutely hates President Trump. So now it all makes sense why Matt Drudge has all of a sudden taken a hard left turn and is now staunchly anti-Trump. I mean, almost every single thing he throws up there is left-wing propaganda BS. He links to CNN and MSNBC and ABC. He barely even links to conservative media anymore. It's an absolute travesty. Now, what happened here? Clearly, he gave up his conservative advertising and marketing company that he developed a relationship with for well over 20 years to go with a family-oriented or run business that no one's ever even heard of, probably for a lot of money. Who knows what kind of pay he's getting for this. And more importantly, his new masters are Google and the Alphabet Incorporated. So now you know why Drudge has taken a hard left turn. The Drudge Report, or as I call it now, the Sludge Report, is a biased, anti-Trump propaganda piece of trash.
But it is clear that Drudge has dropped any sense of support and loyalty to the nationalist populist cause as trumpeted by Trump. And so his turncoat coverage has not gone unnoticed, and it has not gone unpunished. According to the Washington Times, the Drudge Report has seen a 15% drop in viewership between July and October. He's gone from 96 million monthly views now to 77 million. Still obviously a very substantial number, but that trend is going downward for sure, and I think we can expect to see viewership to continue to drop, if not at least for the reason of the rise of Drudge alternatives. And there are a number of them, and they're all seeing their monthly views surge. So unfortunately for Drudge, I think he can expect to see his viewership continue to shrink and shrivel up, and perhaps he can go retire and live out the rest of his days on a tropical island or something. I mean, whether he likes it or not, the nationalist populist worldview is rising all over the world, and with it, a new media culture that's only now just beginning.
Subscribe to the Dummy Funnies now!